Minecraft. Information wants to be free. How do we come by such information? Through science, of course. Unlike Kerbal Space Program, where there's specific tasks that you do in order to obtain science, in Minecraft, it's mostly through the power of observation and experimentation. We're going to do a little bit of science with mobs today in exploration and tactics, so let's go ahead and get started. Hello, Mossstone from Spider Dungeon. It is time for you to get gathered up. And hello, Mossstone from Zombie Dungeon. It is time to gather you up as well. So for those of you who weren't around, who weren't subscribed to the channel back in Season 4 of Exploration and Tactics, it was the case, I don't have any zombie flesh on me, otherwise I'd have a piece of zombie flesh right here, that I kept count of how many different spawners of each type that we found, how many spider dungeons, skeleton dungeons, and zombie dungeons, and then I made a big monument that was kind of like a big bar graph that showed how many I had of each. And I plan to do something similar in this world, and so I'm just trying to get myself prepared. So far I've only found 2 spawners, 1 spider and 1 zombie. We'll get a piece of zombie flesh here to keep count, and eventually we'll go and build the monument. I'm trying to get a sense of the layout of this place and how I want to make and build all the things that I want to do. But now that it's turning nighttime, there is something else that I want to do, and I still haven't really organized all of my things all that well. But I want to get 5 pieces of leather to craft into a leather hat that we can try to throw at a zombie. And let's see, I'd like to stay a little bit farther away from my base. I made this little, what is hopefully going to be a temporary zombie holding pen. I think because I have carpet on top of a fence, I can jump up here, but I don't think the zombie is smart enough to pathfind up here if I were standing up here. And so I think that'll be a place where I can be kind of safe and hopefully try to lure him into this little pen and trap him in. And then you can see what I'm going to do. So I see a creeper over here already. But basically, I want to find a zombie that I can throw this at and who would like to pick it up, so that he will become a mob, both who, A, does not despawn, and B, who, as a result of wearing the leather helmet, will be protected from the sunlight, burning him up in the daytime. But let's see. Right now, all I see over here is a creeper. I'm going to walk over here and kill this creeper because I could also afford to get some more gunpowder supplies. Hello, creeper. And I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea. Oh, I hear a zombie. Hello. Do you like to pick up leather helmets? You do not. Alright, well in that case, I was about to say you're useless to me, but that's not true, because I am in need of some zombie flesh, and so I will grab that. Let's go ahead and do that before I forget. Here comes another zombie. I've lost track of what I was about to say. Perhaps it will come back to me. Alright, you two. I was saying that it might be useful to put a level 1 enchant on this sword. That's what I was thinking to myself. Alright, but it does seem that we have a relatively low number of mob spawns out here, which is terrific. And I think that's because I haven't lit up any of the cave systems underneath here, and so lots of the mobs who would be spawning in these chunks are probably spawning downstairs. And let's see, I see a spider over there, I see a skeleton over there. Want to find another zombie. And surprise, since I attacked the zombie, usually it's the case then, I see a zombie way over there, that if there's zombies like anywhere in the vicinity, they manage to kind of pathfind their way around to you. There's a skeleton over here as well. I've got a power 1 bow. So let's go ahead and take him out. And then, hey buddy, do you see me? Yeah. Do you want to pick that up? You do not either. Alright. Eventually we will find the zombie of destiny who wants to wear this leather helmet, and then all will be good with the world. Might as well pick up my experience from killing the skeleton as well. But basically, once I have the zombie who won't despawn and who won't be affected by the sunlight... Hello, spiders. Oops. Alright, let's go ahead and kill you guys off. Get some more string, get some more experience. And I hear skeleton, I believe, sneaking up on me from somewhere. Oh no, it's a zombie. Hey, buddy. Do you want to wear the hat? You also do not. I'm not sure what the chances are what the probabilities are that any given random mob who spawns is able to pick up loot. I know in the NBT data there's just like a tag called "can pick up loot," I think is actually the name of the tag, with kind of like my map edit. I think I see a spider jockey over there. Okay, none of those zombies picked up the Helmet of Destiny. Everything's of destiny. Alright, so we're going to kill these guys off. We're going to worry about my helmet running out of durability. We're going to kill the spider jockey for funsies. Let's kill the skeleton first. Oh man, that spider is doing a good job of... Alright, now the spider sees me. I was going to say doing the dodge and weave, but he was just kind of wandering around randomly and getting lucky in terms of avoiding my shots. Yeah, I don't know what the odds are that mobs can pick up loot, and so having done map editing kind of stuff, I know a bit about how it's represented in kind of the Minecraft save files. But yeah, I'll probably make a cut here until we manage to find the Zombie of Destiny. Oh, here's an Enderman. I don't have a thingy set up. I think he's close enough that he's not going to despawn. So let's real quick, let's do that. Let's look at the Enderman. And Alright, zombies, sorry, you had to die. Oh boy, the Enderman just stole a block. Alright, go away, go away. He dropped a pearl, yay, another ender pearl. Okay, great. And this zombie's already wearing a helmet, however, he may despawn because he hasn't picked up some of my loot. And so he is not quite as useful. I am regenerating health, so that's not an issue. Let's kill off already wearing a helmet guy and throw a new helmet at this guy. He does not want to pick it up. And so neither of you are useful to me. And this guy dropped another helmet, which has Respiration 1! Wow! We can try out Respiration. That makes me so happy. Alright, there's a skeleton here. You were worth spending some arrows on. Oops, I guess I didn't fully charge the bow there. Oh, he dropped a bow. Alright, we'll check out his bow in just a second. First off, we will get the skeleton to shoot the spider for us. Yeah, and then the spider will go kill the skeleton for us. That is awesome. And here comes some more zombies. I need to eat some food. I love the monster. Alright, here we go. Zombie of Destiny. We've got him. Let's kill off other zombie, if we can. Other zombie, go away. Let's do this once more. Okay, great. And now if I come up here, let's test my hypothesis. Yes, he does not know how to get in here. And so he's going to follow me around like an idiot, which is great. And so now if I walk around here, can I get him to like follow me into here? That's right, come right over here. And now if I hop over here, yeah, there you go. Perfect. Great. Okay, so we've got this zombie. You stay in there, buddy. Now I would like it to be daytime. Great. And now, herein lies, so last episode I added to the scoreboard on the right-hand side, mob, and I said I wanted to kind of like save a copy of all of the mobs. And that's fun in and of itself. But the really interesting bit is I want to try to come up with clever ways to pen in each individual mob. And so one of the things that they added in an update a while ago was the fact that mobs do not like to walk on rails. And this was a good change to the game. I believe they added it as a result of the fact that zombie pigmen would always walk on people's rail systems in the Nether. And that was really annoying because then you'd be riding your rail cart, and the zombie pigmen would spawn there and walk on your rail carts, and it would be really annoying. However, one of the side effects of that is that mobs like zombies don't like to ever even try to pathfind or walk over them even to get to you. Oh, he's picked up a torch as well. Look at this guy go. I was wondering where that torch went. And so as a result, you can do things like this. And now I've got a zombie here who's not going to despawn because he's holding loot. He's wearing a helmet, so he doesn't have to worry about burning up in the sunlight. And yeah, it's like almost like you don't even see me because you don't have a way to get to me. I want to pick up this dirt. And who is apparently, you know, just like sitting in air, he's not even really fenced in. We just have these rails on the ground. And as a result, this can be part of my mob museum. I may end up moving him around. I just did it out here because it was a fair distance away. And so if I happen to be, you know, standing back here crafting something, I don't think I'll hear his growling. Although I am going to hear the nether portal. I might end up moving this a few blocks away. But close enough that, you know, if I wanted to build a mob museum over here, it would be fun to get one of every type of mob, and I thought zombie would be the first one I would do, because I happen to know about this little trick for penning in a zombie. Some of the guys, like skeletons and creepers, some guys, like electrified creepers, are going to be extremely rare and extremely hard to find, and we'll have to use name tags to preserve them. I believe that you can make larger nether portals, and so I presume I could get... Oh no, why are you burning? Why are you burning? What's going on? What, take the helmet. Why? Oh no, and now you're gonna find your way out if you're not careful. Don't be careful. So, does the helmet take damage over time as a result of the zombie wearing it? I didn't want to really give him the respiration helmet. I guess there's no way to get that respiration helmet back. So is the helmet, like, taking damage as a result of the sunlight? I really am not sure what happened there. That could be a flaw in my plan. Like, it just seemed like the helmet despawned. And so the only thing I can imagine is that helmets are taking durability damage as a result of protecting the mob from the sunlight? That was really weird. That was a mechanic that I'm not aware of, presuming I'm, you know, guessing and understanding what it is. And if so, I wonder if I should just do this and just, like, go ahead and put a roof over his head. Just in case that happens again. I kind of want to fool with... Oh, I just heard something go clunk. And so was that his helmet breaking? It was, and I didn't put the roof on high enough. Let's try to water bucket you again. Okay, I think you are safe. You've taken a lot of damage at this point, and I would like to preserve you. And so we can heal you because, all right, you're holding onto a torch, and that's not going to take durability damage. That was really fascinating. I had no idea that the helmets took durability damage as a result of protecting the mobs from the sunlight. I do have some other way that I can heal this guy, I believe, because we did just obtain... Oh my goodness. I really need to get a better inventory system sorted pretty soon. But we did recently obtain a blaze rod from the nether. And so I can go ahead and make a brewing stand. And, alright, do I remember how to brew an instant damage potion? Probably not. Alright, I may take a moment to go and look up recipes, because I haven't brewed potions in a while. But we're going to brew an instant damage potion and make it a splash potion. Throw it at the zombie, because that'll heal him, because he's an undead monster, and so the potions, you know, work backwards on undead monsters, and healing potions hurt them, and healthy potions... no, healing potions hurt them, and harming potions heal them, is what I'm trying to say. So I'll be right back, and we will try to heal this guy up, and hopefully have him live here forever. There are multiple ways to make harming potions. One is a spider eye will make poison potions, and then I could use a fermented spider eye. And fermented spider eye, I believe, is sugar and a spider eye, and there's a third ingredient. What is it? I always forget this. I had to look it up. It's a brown mushroom, and I'm pretty sure I have those as well. Yes, because we got a few of each mushroom. Okay, great. And that, I believe, is a shapeless recipe, and so I can make that just inside my own crafting grid. Yes, fermented spider eye, great. And so we've got poison potions, and now I believe that'll turn these into harming potions. And then I have gunpowder, which will turn it into a splash potion. And then we can hit this guy, and then that should heal him again. Actually, I guess I've got multiple of the potions, and so I'll just throw 2 of them at him. And that should be good. And yeah, I'll have to work on something better for the roof, because that looks kind of ugly above there. I really wanted it to look like... I guess I could move this way up in the sky. I wanted it to just look like, you know, he's just standing around here minding his own business. And it'll be really fun to come up with other clever, non-obvious ways to pen in the mobs. That was my idea for the mob collection aspect of the Season of Exploration and Tactics. But let's see. While this is going, what do I need to do next? All right, we've got Splash Potions of Harming, and ooh, I got an achievement. Local brewery, good for me. All right, let's hit you. Great. And we'll even hit you with the second one, just to be extra sure that you were nice and healed up. And now you should just stay there forever. And you can be my pet zombie. Gonna go ahead and just put this away for the moment. The next thing I want to do, people were talking about the flowers and how they work. And basically we're saying that there were a number of 2-high flowers that you could bone meal. And so, let's see. The rose bushes are 2-high. I can't remember. I think the peonies might be 2-high. I don't remember. The lilacs, I think, can grow 2-high. And I don't think the daisies do. The sunflowers are 2-high. And by 2, I mean 2 blocks high, not TOO. And so I just want to throw these guys down. And then we'll try using some bone meal on them. Yes, great. Because, well, I don't know what to expect out of this, but people said to try this. Oh, that's how you replicate them. Okay, so I got another lilac. Got another peony, so do you always get one? Got another rose bush. And got another sunflower. Okay, that's great. So we've learned about those. That's how you can replicate the tall flowers. And the only thing that's bad about this particular location, I really like this mountain, but it kind of blocks the view of the sunset. I wonder, it would probably be a lot of work, but it might be interesting and fun to like just carve a little hole in the mountain that ends up being like a skylight where I can like see the sun setting on that horizon. I don't know. I'm thinking about lots of different things for this base in this area because I think I'll spend a fair amount of time living here. Obviously, I'm going to still have to do a lot of traveling in order to visit all the biomes. But I'm just trying to, you know, kind of think ahead about what I would like to do for this area. All right, and in any case, I wanted to get the other non-tall flowers. Let's just try with one tulip to kind of get things started. So if I put a tulip down here, can I bone meal the tulip or will I end up bone mealing the ground? Okay, bone mealing the tulip doesn't seem to have any effect. And since I am in just a normal plains biome, if I bone meal the ground, yes, I seem to get just kind of normal tall grass and perhaps whatever types of flowers might happen to grow in the plains, I'm guessing. And so it may be the case that I have to like go back to the flower forest if I want to get tons and tons of... I'm really sad that I ended up kind of wasting that respiration helmet, although I guess we did do it in the name of science because we learned a new mechanic about the game in terms of burning mobs, wearing helmets, causing durability damage to those helmets. And so it was a worthy sacrifice, but I really wanted to have a respiration helmet. All right, so we've learned things about that. Let's go ahead and put these things back. And so I guess in order to harvest more flowers, I'll probably go back to the flower forest. I eventually want to make some kind of greenhouse that I have out here, but I don't even know how many flowers there are in the game yet. And so I'm not sure the right size for such a greenhouse. And eventually, I think with all of my plants, I haven't collected all of the tree types yet. I don't have the jungle tree saplings. And I do have that dark oak somewhere, right? I don't see it. And oh yeah, it's right over here. I need to get them. And I think possibly there's even one more type of wood that I haven't gotten yet. Because I think I heard people saying there were 2 new types of trees, but I don't know what the other one is or where I find it. And so that's something that'll come later. But I want to have like all of the trees and all the flowers in a greenhouse. I'm going to need a lot of space. There's a mob burning up over here. I think it's just because there's a cave system over here that he must have just walked out of. Yeah, he must have just walked out of over here. I think I just saw a zombie burning over here or something. That's fine. It's far enough away that I'm not worried about guys encroaching on my new base. People ask why I make just open air kind of like bases. Are you wearing any type of helmet by any chance? No. If you were, you wouldn't be burning up. Right. I know these things. I know how this game works. People ask why I make these open air bases. I eventually probably will build some kind of house because I would like to improve my building skills. I do it mostly as a matter of expedience. You can just throw down a bunch of torches and now you have a safe base area and you don't have to actually spend time building, which I don't have a ton of experience doing. And so I guess it's mostly out of laziness, but perhaps that will change with this particular Let's Play. All right, where do my seeds go? I've got tons of seeds somewhere. Here we go. We'll dump them in there. All right, but we've experimented with bone mealing the flowers, and so I think I have a sense of that. There's probably still some that goes to bone mealing that I haven't figured out yet, but we can worry about that again in the future. Let me take a look at my list. Let me also figure out how much time I've already spent on this episode, so I'll be back with you guys in a moment. I thought of something else with the flowers. Someone gave kind of a hint about this in a previous video, and I think this is actually something that I saw back in the snapshots and just forgot about. Yes! Light gray dye comes from an azure bluet. And so, do all the flowers have dyes? Like if I do a rose and a peony, like do these guys have dyes? I guess I don't need a crafting table for this. That makes rose red. That makes pink. Interesting, interesting. So some of these dyes previously you had to like mix different colors. Is a poppy also going to give red? I don't know why I keep going to my crafting table. It also does rose red. And so, yeah, someone said basically you could save on the lapis. I think was the hint someone gave me. I imagine the tulips would not turn into dyes. Oh, orange tulip turns into orange dye. I don't know why I didn't think the tulips would. Maybe it's because I don't want to destroy the tulips. Blue orchid. This is probably the thing that's going to make a blue dye. Light blue. Okay. I don't know about dark blue. Maybe there's more flowers I haven't found. I don't know if it's the case that each flower ends up having a dye, and if all of the colors become available just via flowers, or if it's still the case there's magenta, or if it's still the case there's a light gray as well. Yeah, it seems like there's some duplicates, so it seems like maybe they're going more for realism here, and so perhaps there are still some colors like brown that you'd either have to get from, you know, cocoa beans or other... Well, I guess cocoa beans are a plant that's pretty renewable as well. I wonder if you can get everything from renewable plants now, or if it's the case that you still need to use some of the old dye recipes in order to get dyes. Black comes from squid. Can't imagine a black flower off the top of my head. I don't know. That'll be something that we'll have to look into as well, as I learn a few of the aspects about the update that I still don't know a whole lot about. Let's see. I need to organize my inventory a ton, but that's something that I can do off camera. Let me go down the list of comments and see if there's any other things I need to respond to you all with. Let me take some time at the end of this episode to just respond to a number of comments. I'm not going to call people out by name because a number of people made the same comments, but I just wanted to acknowledge them. One of the nice things about this series is just the chance to interact with everybody. I am looking through all of my unorganized chests that I really desperately need to organize because this is frustrating me probably even more than you. So I had nether quartz and I couldn't think of what you needed to make out of nether quartz, and obviously it's redstone comparators, which I just couldn't think of on the fly yesterday when I was first digging up the quartz, and so people reminded me of that. That will definitely be fun. I haven't played around a ton with even the stuff that they added in the 1.5 update, things like activator rails and TNT minecarts and all kinds of things, so they could still be fun to play with at some point in this world. People gave a hint that there are different world options. I am aware of the amplified world type. I have not, made it or tried it out myself because it would, the point of appreciating it would be to see the biomes once again, and I've been trying to stay spoiler-free on the biomes, and so I'm definitely going to wait until I think I've explored all the biomes in this world to have seen them and gotten a chance to just kind of encounter them for the first time on camera so that you guys can see my reactions. And then after that, at some point, I definitely want to check out Amplified Worlds, because it sounds like they have crazy terrain that goes higher up into the sky, I guess more than above the old 128 build limit and kind of up towards 256, I think is the general idea. So that could be fun. I also want to acknowledge a few people gave me suggestions about the chunk loading errors that I was having, about some video settings that I could change. And honestly, I haven't done a whole lot of kind of traveling in this world once again in this episode to see if it's working, but I think it might be working. I made some changes to my video settings, and I think those changes perhaps are making it such that the chunk errors, where the regions of the world that were just failing to load, have become much less frequent. And so to all of those who offered advice there, thank you very much, because that is something that was very much appreciated. Yeah, it definitely seems like the chunks are loading a whole lot better over here. Yeah, look at this. These chunks are all coming in. That is great. And so I appreciate that. Yeah, some people are, when it comes to things that are potential spoilers, kind of are good and have fun with it and kind of like turn it into a little riddle for me to figure out, and I definitely appreciate that. Other people are more straightforward, and when it comes to things like, the video settings, turn off advanced OpenGL, and that makes it less likely to take forever to load the chunks and different things like that. Like, those are good to be straightforward about. For things that are kind of like spoilers about the versions of Minecraft, I enjoy the little riddles and hints that people leave, and so if you want to do that, that's a good way to do it. But at the same time, I'm in no rush. Well, it's a combination of things. I'm in no rush. I don't feel like I'm trying to, let's find all the biomes in the next 3 episodes or something like that. At the same time, it's just kind of my nature, my style of play, that I do like to move quickly. We're only in, what is this, episode 4 or 5 or something? And I've already got brewing. I've got a whole bunch. I've got a big base. I've got some nether portals. I've got a big animal farm. I've got all the steak I could eat for the rest of my life. And so, I feel like I'm in pretty good shape in terms of moving quickly, but that's just kind of my natural state of things. But at the same time, I have the general type of attitude of, Kurt and Farlands or bust. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And so eventually we'll be putting up all these monuments. In any case, we're near the end of the episode today. Since I have captured this zombie in a reasonable way, I'm going to go ahead and count him as number 1 on the mob score. So let me update the scoreboard for that. Great, and so we have 1 mob captured for our mob museum, and we also got an achievement, local brewery, and so we update the achievement scoreboard, and we're up to 18 achievements. Great, and the sun is setting once again. Tell me what you think about carving a giant hole in this mountain so I can see the sunset from the base. I don't know if that will make things look worse or will be fun and crazy. Yeah, if you have any other comments about how I should set up the base, I need to have a greenhouse, I need to have a mob museum, I need to have a wall that I can do the kind of like dungeon count graph, and I probably need some farms around here as well, or at least kind of in these chunks. And so there's definitely still a lot of things I need to do, but I tried to pick an area where I have plenty of open space. As always, I hope that you guys are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with more Minecraft exploration and tactics. Bye-bye.